Hi everybody, this is Sylvain from Brainybro, and today we're going to dig a bit further into the Facebook SDK for Unity. More precisely, we're going to see how to invite and challenge the friends of one users, and we're also going to see how to do a bit of deep linking. And to do all that, I started with the project as we left it at the end of the first tutorial. You can find it on GitHub if you click on the link below. Don't forget to create a project associated in Facebook. I called it Social Sales 2, for example, here. And in the settings, I've created it for iOS and Android. The only thing that I did, which we didn't explain in the last tutorial, is to put switch on yes the single sign-on and the deep linking for iOS and also for Android. We'll see a bit further in this tutorial why it's useful. Just do it now because it can take a while before Facebook really register this. That's it, and don't forget when you have created your own project on Facebook to put your Facebook ID in the edit settings submenu of Facebook. And then let's go into our invite. We had already created an invite button for this project, but I had been quite fast last time, so we just had done a basic app request to invite other people. It works, but there is another way to do this if you want, which is through the fb.mobile.appinvite command, and for this you need a link. So which is a system.uri type, and here we have to put the string of the web link we'll need. I'm gonna just explain what to put it in a minute. Then you have to put you don't have to if you haven't one, but you can put here a picture of your game. So I'm just putting here a picture, and then you can put a delegate, a callback. We'll call it invite callback to see what. It's not very useful, but it will enable us to check if the user really did invite some people or just consult the invite dialog that showed. I'm going to write the callback just here. Invite callback. It takes an argument in the form of the app invite result. And as I said, the main feature that we can do here is just test if the result, if it was consoled. I'm just going to debug to show it. So we'll see it on the console of Unity. So debug.log invite consoled. And we can also test if there was any kind of error with the string result.error. So if it isn't null or empty, there was an error. And in that case, I'm going to debug the error message like this. And if it wasn't consoled and if there weren't any error, we can say that the invite was successful. And just to show you that there is nothing really useful in here, we're going to debug the result.rowResult to see what Facebook is sending us. So that's it. The only thing that's left is what to put here as a link. What should you put actually? I mean, if you have a version of your app on Android and on the App Store, you can choose to put the link for your App Store, the link for the Play Store, but what you really want is a link that will open the App Store page if the user is on Android phone, or the the Play Store page, sorry, or the App Store page if the user is on an iPhone. And you can do that by using the app link of Facebook. For this, I'm just going to search app link Facebook on Google, and the first answer is about Appling. If I click on, no, it's not on Learn More. Where can I see how to Applink host, perhaps? No. I'm just going to click on Learn More, and then Mobile Hosting API. That's it. Using Facebook Mobile Hosting API for app links. So basically, if we click on this button, Create App Link, Facebook is going to allow us to create an app link for one of our apps. I choose the app that we are working on, so Social does too. It's on iOS and Android. And then you don't have to click on Show Steps because it's not going to explain the steps in Unity, and really you won't have to implement them because the Facebook SDK will do everything you need without going into the detail. If you already had done an app link, you can click it here and then edit the app link if you want, for example, to add the iOS or the Android link. And I'm going to re-click iOS and Android here. So it has to have a name. Let's call it app link URL for Social Test 2. It's very good. Here on iOS, we have to type a custom scheme that will open the app. If you don't know what to put, just do the thing that was written here in gray, myApp.//sample. And if you know what to do, I won't go into the detail of that. And the app name that's suitable for display is the name of your app. The App Store ID when you have set your app on the App Store. With this information will then permit the link we are going to create to link your app to open the app page of your app on the App Store. And for the Android data, we can also put here a URL with a custom scheme. I won't go into that. We won't use it very much today. Then the app name, then the package name that should match your app and your package name. And lastly, you can put a website. Basically, what this link is going to do is that it's going to check if we are on Android. It's going to check if the app is installed. If the app is installed, it's going to launch it. Then, if the app isn't installed, it's going to go on the Play Store page. On iPhone, it's going to be exactly the same. He's going to try to launch the app, or he will go onto the App Store page if the app isn't installed on the phone or the mobile device. And if he can't go for any reason into the Play Store or the App Store, you can type here a third option, an URL of your choice. I won't do that here, but you can if you want to. And when we have done that, we have a link here that we can just copy and pass into our project. It's going to be a private static string that we will call app link. Okay, and that's the thing we will put into our new system.URI. Obviously, if you are using this project, and you will have to put here your own app link. That's all for the other option to do an invite. The other thing that we wanted to do is challenge the friends users. The invite, the purpose of an invite is to invite friends that are not currently using the app. And the purpose of a challenge is to challenge some of the user friends that are already using the app, but we want them to come back. For example, to beat a high score on a certain level, or perhaps you could also use this to send them a gift or life or whatever. And I just created the function challenge, and we will just also create the button into our logged in UI. I'm going to duplicate the invite button, rename it challenge button, We will put it a bit under the invite button. We have to modify the text of the button, and then we have to modify the function that's going to be called when we click on this button. It doesn't show here. Why doesn't it show? Ah, I didn't save this page. So to modify this function, that's here. Okay, and to write this function specifically, so it's going to be the function app request that will help us do this. The first thing we have to put, we have a whole bunch of arguments that we can pass into our function app request. The first thing is a message, which is a custom message that is going to appear with our the notification about the invite. One thing before I forget about the invite that we did with the fb.mobile.app invite function, or that we are going to do with the fb.app request function. As long as your app only works on Android and on iOS, all those notifications will only be seen on the Facebook app. That means if a user is looking at Facebook through a web browser, he won't see all of his notifications. He will only see them on if he uses Facebook on his phone or on his tablet with the Facebook app. So here's a custom message. Then here we can put a list of IDs. If we already know who we want to specifically target, we have their Facebook IDs. We can put here a string, a list of strings, and each of these strings representing a Facebook ID of a user. We don't know precisely who we want. So we are just going to put null. The next argument, filters. You can put here some filters to tell to help Facebook choose the friends that is going to propose to a user. So here, for example, we want the users that are already using the app. So we're going to do it with a new list of objects. And we have to tell the filters here, app users, and to tell Facebook that in this dialog we only want friends of the user that are already using the app. If we didn't put this filter here, it would be the same as the invite that we did here the first time. Next thing we can do is a list of IDs that we want to exclude. If we are sure that we want to exclude a specific friend or a few specific friends, and if we have their Facebook IDs, we can put it here in the list. We're going to put null here. The max recipient is the max number of recipients that are going to be able to be challenged in just one time with this box. I'm going to put null to keep the default value. Here's the field data. We're going to see how to retrieve it after, but this is some data that is going to be transmitted with the request, and if all works properly, we'll be able to access this specific field when another user receive a challenge through this. We're going to talk about that a bit later. And the next thing we need is a title. This is the title of the box that is going to appear with the challenge dialog box that's going to appear. Keep your title short, because if the title is too long and doesn't fit in just one line, it's going to create a bug, and it took me a while to figure out because the bug is a very rare name, but keep your title short. And then we have a delegate, and that we can put here. It's going to be a bit the same as our invite callback delegate that we wrote earlier, but here what's interesting is that we will have a lot more information. We still be able to see if the user cancelled the challenge or if there was an error. But if the challenge was successful, we will also be able to see which users the person using the app as challenge. So we will have more information than on our invite callback. So I just modified the text that's going to appear in the debug console. Obviously, all of this is only going to work on a device because, like we saw when we tried, when we did the first tutorial, the Facebook dialog box are going to be blank on the editor. So that's it for the challenge function, and we are going to test it here. So, oh, a mistake. What did I do? No, the challenge callback. It doesn't take, the result is not of the type eApp invite result, but it's an app request. So it's a type eApp request result. I think that was the error. That's it. And then we just click on start. We log in. We have to find an access token. We grant permission to have the access token and use it here, or I could have used one of the test. In fact, I'm going to use one of the test users. Sorry, didn't think about that before. I created 4 test users to just play around with this app. So I'm going to get an access token from Charlie, for example, and we're going to see Charlie and then the list of Charlie's friends. So here, if we click on invite, we don't see anything. We can send an error, cancel, or a success. That way we'll be able to see invite cancelled, invite was successful, but like the message are not very interesting because it's on the editor, so we can't really try to invite or challenge some friends. So that's why I'm going to pause a bit the recording, and we are going to go on my mobile device, and we will see how all these things work on the device. See you in a bit. So now we are on my device, and I've logged in as one of the test users, and we'll see how to use all different dialog box. So if I click on invite, Facebook is going to launch here a dialog box to invite friends. The user can add a message to the invite, and then we can choose which friends we want to invite. So I'm going to invite, for example, just Charlie. No, perhaps just Tom. And then it's sent, and we'll see. I will show you in the logs what we see when we have an invite on a device. Next, we are going to challenge some of our friends. It's kind of the same thing. It's a dialog box. We have the title, challenge your friends, that appears on the top. And I will challenge Richard and Charlie. I'm going to send here. And we're going to see, I'm going to show you the log back on the computer. So we are back on the computer, and I've extracted from the log what appeared when we did an invite and a challenge. So, like I said, when we do an invite, we don't have any useful information apart from the fact that it was successful. For the challenge, it's a bit more interesting because we can see the list of the IDs of the test users, and it would be the regular users in a real case scenario. But so if here it's the IDs of the test users, I sent the challenge, and then we have the ID of the request that is associated to this challenge. So eventually you can, for example, if you want to give a reward for a specific number of user challenge, or if you want to give a reward when we invite some users, you can check that in the callback, and like we did it here. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to see how to retrieve this data field. When a user is clicking on a challenge in his Facebook app, and when it comes into your app, we will be able to see this field data. This is done with the command. I'm going to put it here. Here's a bit of code that is launched when Facebook is logged in, whether it is on the initialization or just after we clicked on the login button. This is the script that was used to change the UI interface. So here I'm going to put the command fb.get app link, and it just needs a callback. We're going to call it applink callback, very original. And I'm going to write this applink callback here. It will take a result of the form applink result. And in this callback, we will be able to see if the app was launched regularly, I mean just because the user pressed the button, or if it was launched through a Facebook invite or challenge, and we will be able to retrieve this data. So if this data contains the name of a specific level where you want your user to challenge his friends, or if it was a gift or a life, you can all put this in the data field. Which is a string. It must only be no more than 255 characters, but you can transmit a lot of information through Facebook to your other users. So let's get started. First thing we're going to see is if there was any error or not. So if there wasn't any error, so string.isNull or empty of result.error. Here's where we will see if there wasn't any specific error, we'll be able to see the form of the result. I'm just going to type for now applink done, and then the result, the raw result that is sent. We will launch it on the device, and we're going to see through the log what exactly is this result, and then we'll see how to manage this result. And if there was an error, I'm just going to debug the error message, uplink error, and then result.error, like this. To test that, if we go into the editor and just log in regularly, there won't be anything popping into anything very interesting popping into our debug console. The app link is a mock URL, and there's nothing interesting here. It's going to be exactly the same if we just launch the app by clicking on the icon on the app. This field is going to be interesting if the app is launched through Facebook. So what I will do now is just go back on the phone, and I will log in as Richard, which we sent an app request to Richard earlier, and I'm going to click on it, and we'll see the app launching, and we'll see on the logs what exactly Facebook is returning us. See you in a bit. So we are back on the phone, and I've logged in as a test user Richard. So as we can see on the button with the planet globe, there's one notification. If I click on it, we can see that David has sent us a request a short while ago. I'm going to click on the request, this notification. So I'm going back into the app. I can log in, and I'm logged in as Richard. And as we can see, the app was launched just by clicking on the notification. This is the part when I was telling you at the beginning of this video that you should switch on the buttons. It's to enable that, and it should be done a bit in advance, because sometimes it takes Facebook a bit of time before it actually works on the device. So now I'm going to extract in the log exactly what Facebook told us when we came into the app, what exactly we had in our get app link result. See you in a bit. So back on the computer, I've just extracted two things of the log. The first one is what appears on the log when we launch the app by clicking on just the icon. So as we can see, it's pretty much the same as the one we saw on the editor. And the second one is the thing that we see in the log when we have an app link extracted when the app was launched by clicking on the Facebook notification. So we can see that there is a bit of stuff. This is with the JSON format, like always with Facebook, and the information is there twice. Actually, the information that we will use is here. It's what we can see after target URL. This one. Just gonna. So in the JSON that we extracted, there is a field ref that is null, and then there is a field extra, which contains a bit of everything. And then in this field extras, we have a field target URL. And after the field extra, sorry, we have a field target URL that contains the URL which was used to launch the app. So in this URL, we can see the thing that is going to be very interesting is to see the request, the number just after the request IDs is the number associated with the requests, and by using this number and interrogating the Facebook API, we will be able to retrieve the data that was sent with this request. The other number that we can see here is just the Facebook app ID, so it's not very interesting. We already know that in our code. This is the number that we will try to extract in the code. So back in Unity and in our code, here in the applic column callback, I'm going to keep debugging the app link and then the result, just to verify that everything is correct afterwards. Then, to serialize the JSON, we are going to, like we did before, we will use the result.dictionary field. So it's a dictionary. I'm going to call it Dixio, and it's a dictionary with key strings and object values. And in this result dictionary, we want to see if there is a key named target URL. And if there is none, that means that the app wasn't launched through Facebook and we don't want to do anything. But if there was, we will see how to retrieve this target URL. So it's in our dictionary, it's the field target URL. We want to convert it to string. And in this URL, we want to search the keyword requests IDs equals, and we want to see the number that is going to appear right after this keyword. So we will begin at the we just do a loop. We'll begin at the very beginning of this URL, and then we're going to keep going while we aren't too far. So the last part we want to check is URL.length minus keyword.length, and we want to see if the substring that we can build beginning at the index k and for a length of the same as our keyword is equals to our keyword. Or you can use some string function that's going to find where the keyword is. So that way, while we haven't found our keyword, we're going to continue. When we have found our keyword, we want to go. I'm going to begin with another index named L, and I want to go until I haven't found a special character, which could be either this one or the person sign. And when we have found this special character, we can see we'll be able to find the ID, which will be equal to the substring between k and L. So it begins at k and its length is L minus k. And to verify that everything was correct, I'm gonna debug this ID to just check that I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't debug the ID. I have to write it somewhere. ID plus ID, like this. I'm just going to pause. I'm going to do exactly the same as I did before. That means, oh, there's some kind of error here. That means just launching the app through the Facebook notification, and we'll see if this piece of code works correctly. See you in a bit. So back in Unity, it appears there was quite a few errors in my code. The first one is a typo here. I had forgotten to type contains key, and I only typed contains. The second one, just after finding this index k, we have to add the length of the keyword to be sure that we are at the end for the request IDs field. And then I had put here an OR connector, and it was an AND connector. And once all of those mistakes are corrected, on the debug console we still have our app link, and then the ID correctly extracted. If we just go back at the end to see the target URL, we can see that this number exactly matches this number. So now that we have this ID, we'll be able to request to make a request to the Facebook API and be able to retrieve all the data that goes with this request. So to do that, we have to ask the Facebook API. So the syntax is it's like when we just have to type here the exact ID of the request. So the exact ID is the ID that we extracted. This is the ID of the request. And then we have to put an underscore and then the ID of the user, because the request can be sent to multiple users. And we have to find the user, the part of the request that is going with this user. So to find the user ID, it's in access token.current access token.user ID, and with this, so the ID of the request underscore the ID of the user, and just asking that to the Facebook API. So it's an HTTP method.get, and then I'm going to write a request callback here. So just with that, we'll be able to find all that went with our request. So in particular, the data that we transmitted. So the request callback, again, so it's an iGraph result because it was a request with the Facebook API. And like always, we're going to begin to see if there was any error or not. If there weren't any error, we will be able to use this request. Otherwise, we want to debug the error message result.error. And if everything went well, I'm not going to show the raw results. It's again a JSON. You can just try to see it if you want to. In this JSON, we'll find a whole bunch of information related to this request. Oh, well, let's go. I'm going to just show it to you once, and then we'll be on our way to finish this tutorial. So just debug the result dot raw result to see exactly what Facebook sends us. And I'm going to build again this project. Oh, whoa. What are all those? All of those errors. What did I do? I forgot to put a semicolon here. And then let's just build this on the device, and I'm going to extract in the log the information that we want to see in a bit. And to finish, so this is what we get when after the request is done. So this request, it's going to send us a JSON like always, and we will find a whole bunch of information relating the app ID, the time the request was created, and here is the field data that was transmitted. This is the field that interests us. We can also see the user that transmitted the request, it's his name and its ID, the message that was accompanying the request, and the beneficent of this request. As I only asked for the request with the ID of the user, in the receptions we only see the user concerned. Here is a copy of the ID that we sent. So this is the ID of the request underscore the ID of the user that received it. And with this, so if we go back in our callback here, and we will see instead of debugging the raw result, we can retrieve the data field like we always do. So like we did before, we're going to retrieve the result dictionary here, and then in the data field of this dictionary, if there is one, contains key data. We can retrieve, I'm just going to debug it, but you can do what you want with the data that was transmitted with the request here. Now just to conclude, this is the data that we had put here in the request that we can retrieve at this point of the script. The last thing that you may want to do is that you have to clean up after yourself, in the sense that if you don't want to deal with this request anymore, you have to debug to delete it after you have done everything you want with it. The request for that is pretty simple. You just put the ID of the request in a fb.api command, and then it's an HTTP method.delete, and you can implement a callback if you want to be sure that it was indeed deleted. And you can delete the request that your app has done without having the publish action permission. Sorry. So that concludes this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel and to download one of our games. See you later.